What is the biggest misconception of you? What's one thing people think about you, but it's not true?
I'd probably say my biggest misconception would have to be something like, um, I don't know really. I mean, basically probably my occupation, like what my career field is. I do a little bit of everything. I started out modeling, then now I'm getting into a little bit of music. I'm starting up YouTube. I'm doing a little bit of everything, just trying to like widen my whole brand and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, probably my occupation. Yeah,
You're in a transition?
yeah, transition. Definitely trying to get into music. A lot of my fans like commented on my hair. I kind of switched up my hair. I've always had like curls and stuff, so switched that up just for a new look. Um, yeah, just basically trying to widen my brand and get into a little bit of everything else. Yeah.
What's the reaction been to the new hairstyle?
Um, I don't really like to read comments, but I have been looking. I'd probably say it's about 50-50, honestly. I got some diehard fans that was with the curls, and then I'm kind of getting a new base that's like, oh, we kind of mess with the dreads. So yeah, it's a whole transition, but it's just a new wave for me.
When you changed it, was this a self decision? You wanted to change it on your own? Somebody asked you to change it, perhaps? Like it
Nah,
was advised from a manager or a consultant or something like that? Or
I was just like, bro, I had curls since I was little, and I tried braids one time, and I was like, I ain't really feeling braids. I ain't trying to like have someone do my hair all the time. So I was like, dreads, might as well just change it up. You feel me? Yeah. So I just went ahead and twisted them up, had my girl do it, and then that's basically how it started.
how did you introduce the new hairstyle? How did you
Um,
premiere it?
I really didn't premiere. It was just basically I got on Instagram doing my same thing that I always been doing, posting, going live. People started noticing like they thought I had braids or something. I was like, nah, it's not. They're twists and twists lock up to dreads, and that's how that started. They all like they just kind of jumped on the wave with me though.
Mm. Okay, so I asked you what the reaction has been to the new hairstyle, but what's your personal opinion of it? Do you regret making that change? Are you happy you made the change?
To be honest, I was thinking about cutting my hair off like a week ago, but just because it's like a process. I ain't never did nothing to my hair crazy, so I don't understand like the whole dreading process. But it's a journey too. Couple people told me that, and they're like, "Yo, it's just gonna take time. They gonna build character for you, cause everyone's dreads ain't the same." So I went ahead and just left it, and then you see how it is today. Tomorrow I may wear it completely different. It's a whole new thing.
I've interviewed a comedian. His name's Eastside Ivo, and he didn't go through that process. He actually bought somebody's hair and had it put in.
I ain't with that. I'm not gonna put someone else's hair on my head. But
And he paid $4,000 for it.
whose dreads were they?
Now, I don't want to say the wrong thing because, we did this interview several months ago, but people watching this can look that up. They can search Eastside Ivo,
Yeah.
DJ Smallz Eyes, and they can find that interview where we talked about it. But people, like I said, they can watch this interview I did with him where we talked about it in depth and detail. But he bypassed the growth process and just had them put in.
I mean, that's one way I guess you could do it. To me, I'd rather have my own hair than putting someone else's hair on my head. But I mean, shout out to him. Get dreads how you get them. I guess I don't know.
And I'm sure he's not the only one.
Yeah, definitely. I heard people do that all the time, but I just ain't my thing.
Now, When it came to the transition, and you said you started off, or people known you from the modeling side of things.
Right.
Are you retired from that? Have you quit that exactly? What's the status of modeling?
Definitely not quit. I actually did like a recent photo shoot for a company. It's just, I'm kind of taking a break from it, just because I'm trying to dabble into everything else. Trying to focus on getting into music, doing all that kind of thing. If whoever follows me, they've already like kind of seen that kind of interest, you know. Definitely trying to focus on YouTube as well. But yeah, yeah.
When it came to music, how young did that start for you?
A couple months ago, to be honest with you. Cause when I was younger, I was in sports. So, you know, like every little kid's dream that does in sports, you know, like I'm gonna make it in the sports, I'm gonna go pro. Had a couple offers, to be honest, that parents wasn't with it because I was on the younger side. They were just like, that ain't you right now. Went to college for like a year, dropped out of that because, you know, college ain't for me. Got into this, and then now I'm just like hopped out, went straight into modeling, did that for a while. Now getting into music, so, you know, I don't got time for everything. So I'm trying to focus on what I see myself doing.
Now let's break some of these elements down. Music, okay. How did that start and why did that start?
Started because my manager, shout out to I Discover Star, you know, he's been mentoring me for a year now. Taught me a bunch of stuff. He's been in the music field, modeling field, TV and film, all that kind of stuff. You know, he's coming from that, you know, that whole genre. So he's like, you should definitely try music. You got a following for it, you got the fans for it. Go ahead and just try and exert yourself that way. So for a couple months, I've been trying to like write, do my own thing. He's kind of made me jump on a couple of people's stuff. But now it's just me focusing on me. I'm trying to get my own EP, own album, something to put out that's all me. So that should be coming at least before the end of the year. Coming with music videos, all that kind of stuff, you know, just like, you know, the whole gist of it. But yeah, it definitely started by getting kind of pushed into it, but I already love music enough. Now it's just, how can I make it my own music? So yeah, definitely like that.
It's one thing to get pushed into something. It's another to actually like it, enjoy it, and be passionate about it.
Right, definitely.
Is when you get pushed into it, is this a money-making opportunity, or is it at the point where you actually have a passion for this and you want to do it for those reasons?
It's a little bit of both. I ain't gonna cap. It's a little bit of both. People look at rappers, people look at people that do music in general, specifically rappers, just because those are the type to flex everything, you know what I mean? So getting into music, that definitely is gonna open a door for the financial side of it. But with that being said, it's like, I already love music enough. Like, I listen to it every day, hella genres, hella artists. And then now it's like, how can I do that and replicate it to a point where I like it and it's my own thing? So definitely developing a passion for it, that's already started. Like, it's been there. Now it's just, how can I execute it? So yeah, definitely started out by being pushed into making it, and now it's like definitely a passion that I want to get into and do my own thing with it.
Because other people, you know, if it's a money thing, it could also be a gimmick thing. It's like, let's see if I can catch a hit record or a song that pops. So it can be a vehicle for something else, maybe not even music anymore.
Yeah. I heard about that. That's definitely BlueFace. I feel like that's definitely a gimmick to an extent. No hate on him, just say that before. But I feel like that's one of those dudes that he took his opportunity. And if that shows, if I have that opportunity, I may take that too. But I'm gonna definitely try to make that gimmick completely me. I'm not gonna be fake about it or anything like that. So yeah, definitely something I'm interested in for real, like personally. Yeah.
In a sense, do you compare yourself to a BlueFace? And when I say compare, I mean maybe not musically, but maybe from his background. I believe he was an athlete in high school at one point. I think he was playing football.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. And, you know, girls find him attractive, and he's tall, and he's, you know,
right.
And he's rapping now.
Yeah.
And so in a sense, do you compare yourself to him in that analogy, or no, not even?
Sheesh. I'm not gonna call myself anybody else, personally. I was just walking at Lennox 30 minutes ago. They were like, "Oh, is that BlueFace?" Blah blah. Even though I got different hair, they were just like, you know, I hear it all the time. Definitely not gonna say that I'm him or trying to be him or like that I want to fit into that category. But I mean, I guess people could say that. But definitely come from, I guess, the same type of background. So yeah, in that sense, I guess, yeah, but definitely not gonna try and just be a gimmick, you feel me?
Was that the first time somebody's actually asked if this was asked if you were BlueFace? Hey, that's BlueFace.
Nah. First time was actually I was wearing all blue. I was wearing like an OKC jersey, blue shoes, you know, jeans, just a normal fit. Back when I had curly hair, and I was actually at the Lennox again, and this group of girls came up to me and like, "Oh, you BlueFace, you BlueFace," and they started taking pictures, and I was like, ah. And then my own fans came up, and they're like, "Yo, this is Corey." So it was kind of like a weird altercation, but you know, yeah, people were mistaking me for BlueFace. I don't think I look like him personally, but you know, I guess girls see light skin with curly hair and they think that, but you know, everybody different.
Could be the height. You're tall.
Yeah, I guess I never met, like I never seen him in person, so I don't know exactly what he is.
What's your height?
With these shoes on, you feel
and
me?
You got the 2 Chainz Reaction Versace sneakers on.
Yeah, I got the Versace's on today.
So that adds like an inch or 2 or 3.
Probably around 3, no cap. So I'm probably a good 6'4" right now. Yeah. So I'm like 6'1" without the shoes. You take them off.
Do you feel like those sneakers, and it's not just those sneakers, there's other high-end designers that have sneakers for men where it's like a high platform. Do you feel like that's like how women have high heels? Do you think that's the version for men in a sense of high heels, or somebody that might be not so tall and they want to add an extra inch or 2 to them?
I guess it could be.
I don't know if you've ever even thought of it like that.
Yeah, I never thought of it like, I actually one of my friends had told me, he was like, "Yo, cause he's like 6'4", 6'5" naturally. And I put him on, I was the same height as him. I didn't really notice it, but he's like, "Bro, those are like some heels on you." Like, so I guess, yeah, I heard that kind of thing for him. I never thought about it buying it though. So I guess people could do that, but I don't think a guy is gonna just think I need some extra height and go buy some Versace shoes.
I just looked up BlueFace's height, and I don't know how accurate this is, but it says 6 feet 3 inches.
Yeah, he's taller than me, so we probably around the same height with the shoes on. But
and he's noticeably tattooed. He has a huge facial tattoo.
Yeah, he got that smacked on his face right here, so definitely don't got one of those. I don't think I'm gonna fall into the face tat group. You feel me?
Do you have any tattoos?
Yeah, I got one on my side. It was my grandma's birthday. You know, she kind of was super close to me. She passed a while back, and that kind of hit me. So I was like, when I turned 18, I was like, let me go ahead and get this tattoo of her. She's always gonna be with me. I know she's in my heart. Now she's on my side, so it's always gonna be with me. That's gonna be part of something I like see every day. So yeah.
Was that the most impactful death in your life at this point?
Yeah, definitely. I had multiple people, family members pass, but I think I was too young to really like understand how important it was and what was going on. So when my grandma passed, she was the person that came and got me from school every day. Went over to her house, talked to her. She mentored me on a bunch of stuff. She taught me a bunch of stuff. Uh, she loved me, you know. So when she passed, it was definitely it definitely hit me. I remember going to school and stuff, not being able to think right, uh, just worrying, like how she was doing. She had like a terminal sickness, you know. So it was just like I don't believe anyone should really have to pass like that. So definitely hit me hard. Yeah.
When you said shouldn't have to pass like that, it was a bad way of passing away. She had it rough.
Yeah, I would definitely say so. She basically it was like she was just in and out of the hospital, you know, every other week, or just staying in there for weeks at a time. So yeah, it was just like she was hooked up on wires, all that type of thing. You just know, like when you see someone you love like that, you never want that for them. So it just wasn't something I wanted for her. You know?
This is grandmother on your mother's side or father's side?
My mom's side, yeah.
When you said grandmother would take care of you, you were under grandmother's roof? You were living with her?
No. It was basically like, she would just like pick me up, and then we would either go to her house, and she kind of lived like down the street from us, so it was me being over there, and just staying around her, and like her, since she got us from school and stuff, it just like naturally go to her house, and it's just like someone I really looked up to in a lot of ways, and learned a lot from. And it was just someone that, like, when she passed, it took a lot from me.
Who were you living with at the time when grandmother would come and pick you up and things of that nature?
My parents, my mom and dad, yeah.
Okay.
And then got a little brother, older brother, and a sister, so yeah.
So would she more or less come and pick you up and just because she wanted to spend time with you, or more so she was pitching in and helping your parents out where, I don't want to say the word babysitting,
Right.
but maybe pick you up and occupy you so that could free some time for your parents maybe?
I think it started out more or less like that, but at the time it was more like someone I could talk to, someone that I would genuinely like being around. So yeah, it probably started out maybe more of like a little babysitting, and then for me personally, it was more like that's someone I can talk to, someone actual family member, someone to love, someone that cared about me. So yeah.
Now, do you know what specific terminal sickness it was? Was it cancer of some sort? Or?
Yeah, some type of cancer. I was in ninth grade, so that's years ago. I don't specifically remember the exact type, but it was a form of cancer.
Or I don't. Again, your details are your memory is kind of hazy, but you don't know if this was found late, like as in a late stage. I know cancer can come in stage 1, 2, 3, 4, where if it's discovered at 3 or 4,
right,
it's tougher to survive than if they find it at 1 or 2.
I'm thinking it's 3. I know for a fact that she went to the hospital. They whatever it was, they thought they got rid of it. She came back. We thought like, oh yeah, you beat it. Like we're good. And it came back. So she was back in there. They told her she was out again. She went back. It was back and forth in the hospital, like I was saying earlier. So yeah, it was just something that kept popping up and being a threat to her. So.
At what age were you when she actually passes away?
14.
And how'd you find out? How'd you get the news?
I was actually asleep in my house. My dad came in there. My mom was in the hallway because, she had already heard about it. She was going through her own thing. So my dad came and told me, and I woke up and I just sat in my bed for like hours, you know. I had school the next day, so I'm thinking like, man, I gotta go to school, and I just heard about all this, so yeah, it just hit me like nothing else has like ever hit me before. So yeah, I was just like, I remember I was at school like breaking down like damn, this is really happening. So yeah, that's basically like how that all started.
Do you remember the last time you saw her or spoke to her prior to her passing?
Yeah, I was actually supposed to be going to school, and my dad took us up to the hospital to talk to her. And she was like hooked up on a bunch of wires. She had something on her face. So she was trying to talk to me, and like I could see it in her face, like she really wanted to say something. But whatever she had on, like she just couldn't like really speak it. So like me seeing her like trying so hard to do something and like she couldn't do it and there's nothing I can do to help her, kind of like it like broke me down. So I kind of like hugged her and told her I love her and that she like hope she got better, and kind of left because we had to go to school, and then just kept praying and praying, and you know now she's in a better place. So yeah.
Do you remember how soon after she had passed, after you had seen her at that moment?
I'm thinking probably
A couple days, a week?
Yeah, around like a week. Yeah, around like a week.
Did you know that was about to happen? Did your parents inform you, like?
Not necessarily after that event, but they had told me that she's going through a lot. She probably doesn't have long. So yeah, it was just like, you know.
Did you attend her funeral?
Yeah, definitely. I had been to other family members' funerals, but that's the only one that I took 100% seriously, and just like actually felt, because I think I was at an age where I could actually understand what was really going on, and where I had actually made a full connection with someone in my family. So yeah, it was a sad day, you know. So just like anyone's funeral should be.
And then after she passes away, after the funeral, how have you coped since? I mean, I know you got a tattoo of her.
Right.
But through the years, after that moment, through the years, how have you coped with her death?
You know, to be honest, I've had pretty good years after she passed. Not saying that her being gone has been a good thing, but you know, I tell everyone, like everyone in my family says it, I say it. I feel like she's like my guardian angel, you know. Someone that's watching over me. Anytime I have something bad that I'm going through or some struggles, you know, I pray. God will answer me. She'll answer me. I feel it. So yeah, like that's basically, you know, I've accepted what's happened, and yeah, like I've accepted what happened, and then I know where she's at. It's a better place, and the tattoo just signifies like that's our connection. You know, it's always gonna be there, and she's always gonna watch over me. You know.
How soon after her passing do you get the tattoo?
Like I said, I was like 14. So my parents being who they were, they was like, nah, you're not getting a tattoo. I never thought about getting a tattoo until I was older. So like I said, 18, so 4 years after I got the tattoo.
Now, was this premeditated? You knew you wanted to get a tattoo of her? Or you just wanted a tattoo and then you're like, I'll just spontaneously get a tattoo of grandma?
Nah, I had planned it kind of probably a year and a half prior to. Didn't know exactly where I was going to get it, but definitely knew I was going to get something that signifies her. So yeah.
And why'd you choose that spot on your body?
Well, I was actually going through like the whole modeling phase too. So this is somewhere that not everyone can see all the time, you know? So that was something that benefited me personally and benefited my career. So, yeah.
So you were mindful of
Definitely.
of the career and all that.
Yeah, I actually wanted to get it like right here. When I thought about it, I was like, wanted something right here, and kind of thought about like my career at the time. It was like, maybe I shouldn't get it right there. So just went ahead and put it on my ribs.
Did you speak to others before you got the tattoo about the placement of it? Like, did you ask others what they you think it'll mess me up if I get this neck tat, or?
Nah, I kind of just thought about it. My agency was like, if you're like signing, just watch where you get the tattoo type of thing. So yeah, that was something that was in the back of my head, but at the end of the day, you know, it was a personal decision that I wanted to choose for myself, and yeah.
You consulted your agency at the time, or your agent?
Not necessarily about the tattoo, but when we were going over our contracts and stuff, they kind of just, you know, told me like, watch where you get it, it's gonna mess up your image. So yeah, I always had that in the back of my head. Yeah, that was the only thing. I didn't even tell my parents about it or anything. I kind of just showed up with a tattoo. It was like, they accepted it though, you know. They were just like, we know what it is, you know why you got it. So yeah, everything went smoothly after that.
You said this was grandma on mother's side?
Yeah.
So how did you tell your mom about this or show her the tat? Did she have any knowledge before you actually show her?
She kind of knew I was gonna get a tattoo just because I had asked, you know, good like tattoo parlors and all that.
But
so
did
she didn't know what I was getting though.
Okay, she didn't know it was for her mother.
Yeah, she had no idea. And then I showed up after I got it and showed her what it was, and then she kind of she almost instantly accepted it. It was like I understand, you're completely fine, don't worry about it.
So just clarify one thing for me. With the agency in this contract, were they just talking about tattoos in general? Hey, if you get a tattoo, be careful. Okay. So you didn't say specifically, yeah, I'm thinking about doing this on the side of my body.
No, I kind of just told them, at the end of the day, even though they I'm not even with them anymore. But when I was with them, it was kind of just they had talked about it prior, and then after I got it, I just told them. I just showed back up in LA and was like, yo, I got this tattoo, and they were just like, oh, we kind of like that, and you know. I haven't had any bad anything. Actually, a lot of people when I first got it were like, why did you get that? It looks nice. What's the story behind it and all that kind of stuff. So it's now they can see what it's all about, the whole in-depth.
Were you worried about showing the agency that you were with at the time about it, or telling them about it, or?
No, just because it was more I didn't need to show it off, you know. I got signed for my face, so a tattoo shouldn't change that, and I was kind of confident in it, you know. So
now, because this happened when you were young, you were 14 years old at the time. Did you receive any type of counseling, therapy, things of that nature, you know, coping with her death?
It was more it happened, and it was something that I needed to get through kind of on my own. I even my parents asked me about it, yo, are you okay? Blah blah blah, and I would just be like, I'm getting through it on my own. I mean, I prayed a lot for it, you know, help me, show me the way, and you know, God's gonna do that for me. So, yeah.
Now, do you feel, and you didn't, she's not the only death that you've experienced, but do you feel like you may need counseling, therapy, things of that nature at this point in your life, dealing with maybe not only her death, but others that you've experienced?
Nah, I feel like I can get through pretty much anything that's dealt. I'm kind of introvert, you know, so everything that happens to me, I may not even express. People may not know, so, you know, everything I'm challenged with, I'm gonna find a way for myself to make it through, you know. yeah, just 100% confident in myself to make it through any situation.
Now, somebody watching this interview, listening to your story and your experience, and maybe they're going through something similar, okay? Now, circumstances could be different for everybody, but let's say somebody's losing one of their grandparents or maybe a loved one themselves. Is there anything you would say to somebody going through these motions?
Um, I would just say, if you're religious, then pray. Because whoever you're praying to, um, they're gonna help you through it, you know. So keep faith in everything that you're getting challenged to, and know that those challenges wouldn't be put in front of you if you couldn't beat them, you know. So yeah, just make sure you stay headstrong. Not everyone's out to get you. Not everything that's bad happens to be bad. You can grow from it, and just, you know, stay positive, try to be optimistic, and do the best that you can with what you have.
Now, what did her death teach you? What did you learn from that?
First thing was, not everything's good, you know? Not everything's gonna be something that you can just click away. You know, to this day, every time I get out the shower, every time I have to do a shirtless shoot, I feel it, you know, because it's there. I put it there as a reminder, as well as just to signify who she was. And yeah, just like, yeah.
Now, I know you don't know what specific cancer, and you may want to end up researching what type of cancer it was,
Right.
just for maybe your own health and your future.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if this may run in your family. I don't know if this is genetic.
To be honest, I don't think anyone else in our family has had cancer at any point. It was just a crazy thing that happened, you know. It was actually a lot happening at the time. We had moved to a bigger estate, and yeah, everyone was just living their best life, you know. Then one day, she was like, she wasn't feeling right, and ended up having to take her to the hospital. We found out that it was some form of cancer, and so we had to end up moving back because my mom wasn't comfortable with being how far we were. So we moved back closer to her, and then yeah, it was just something that happened, you know, out of nowhere. Nobody was ready for it, and there was no previous information about it. So, or at least in our family that anyone had. So, yeah.
Now, because she did get cancer, does this worry you yourself with your own health? Are you cautious perhaps of your own health?
To be honest, no. I'm not cautious about my own health in that way. I do what I can to stay healthy. You know, so me being an athlete, you know, I kind of stay in shape, doing what I can with that. If I ever do feel something that's something like out of the ordinary, I kind of just ask around and be like, yo, is this normal? Or I may go to the hospital, just get a checkup, you know. I think anyone would do that. But yeah, definitely not doubting myself in health.
I am curious to find out if you actually get the chance to find out what cancer, because I'm wondering if this may have been prevented, could have been prevented perhaps, if there were signs or signals that could have been seen earlier to catch it earlier.
I mean, to be honest, I don't think that's a necessary answer for me, because that's focusing on the past, you know. It sucks, it hit me, and I've moved on from it. I have reminders that are there for me to stay humble in certain aspects of my life, and that's something I wouldn't really want to dig into just because it's something that's like in the past. You know, I'm trying to build myself up. I'm trying to build the people around me up, and you know, just stay stay positive and optimistic.
What do you miss the most about her? What's one characteristic you miss?
I'd probably say her embrace, you know, her caring personality. It really didn't matter like what you want to talk to her about or what situation it was. She was always there to like say something about it, even though if it wasn't something that she completely knew the answer to. You know, she was gonna give you something to build you up and to make you stronger in like what you were doubting yourself in. So. Yeah.
Would there be things that you would confide with her that you wouldn't even confide with your own siblings or your own parents?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
But it was, I guess, maybe how she would say it. And prior to me bringing those kind of situations up to her, she would make me feel comfortable enough to even bring those up. So definitely it was just like someone that she showed me that she cared and was there for me, so, yeah.
Do you have a favorite memory of her you could share with us today?
First, right thing I'm thinking about is crazy story. It was iced over. So I actually live in Jonesboro, Arkansas. So I lived there since I was little, and it was iced over. It was like in the winter. My grandpa on my mom's side was going down and he had slipped on some ice. Actually broke his hip. And he was fine though, like, you know, just a tough dude. And my grandma would just make jokes about it, like 24/7, about like, it's like you're old and your hip is always broke. After a little while, it kind of got cheesy, but it was just something like, she had a humor too, you know, just kind of like picking at people. I did it a lot too. Maybe I picked it up from her. But yeah, just like little cheesy jokes and jokes in general. So yeah.
Did your grandfather ever get offended with them?
Nah, he was always cool. He was a real laid back guy. Yeah, he real family dude. So yeah, he didn't really like care about it. He was just laughed it off and we moved on.
She never got a chance to see the modeling side of things?
Nah. She always told me I was an attractive person. Maybe I should think about modeling. But she never saw any of that. No.
What do you think she would think?
I feel like,
because she did call it.
Yeah, definitely.
Think she would be surprised or?
Nah, I wouldn't say surprised. I'd probably just say that she would just kind of be proud. Yeah, just definitely proud and would want me to keep excelling in whatever I'm choosing to be in. Yeah.
How did the modeling actually start for you?
Started by I had a video, you know, just like a lip syncing video, posted it, then Facebook on someone on Facebook posted it and it got a couple million views. So that's kind of how my internet fame started. And from that, you know, brands would hit me up like, yo, can you wear this in a video, or hey, we'll pay you to do this. And then I actually got my first modeling job last year in January, and they flew me out to LA. I did a shoot with them, and that was my very first job. So yeah, it kind of just arose from Instagram, just doing a little video.
And when you say your first modeling gig, was this before you signed with this agency, or you signed with the agency and then comes the first gig?
Yeah, I had signed with an agency, or I signed with an agency after I did a couple of jobs, just because I heard that when you're with an agency, those brands are gonna pay you more. They could be screwing you over in certain financial aspects. So, you know, I trusted an agency that I was with, and they kind of like taught me some ropes. My manager definitely taught me a bunch of ropes on what to do and how to take a lot of stuff. So, yeah.
And with that agency, you approached them or they approached you when it came to the signing situation?
Crazy thing is, I had never thought about modeling. I got out of college and I was like, what am I gonna do with myself, you know? So I took it up. I was like, maybe I should model, because my mom was like on me about it, like, you gotta do something, you gotta do something. So I applied to an agency, and they actually turned me down. So the very first time I tried to model, they were like, no, you're not gonna do it. And then second time, they was actually the agency I signed with, and but basically, like, when you try to model, you put in your little application or whatever. Then what's crazy is my manager was actually working with that agency at the time, and he reached out and wanted me to model for them. So without me really trying, I kind of got accepted into the agency. So yeah, they just kind of flew me out to LA, and I did a couple of shoots, and then from there I was working with them.
Is this the same manager you mentioned earlier in this interview that pushed you into music?
Yeah.
And is that actually how you link up with him for the first time, was in that situation you just said?
Yeah. Flew out to LA, and we actually just went out to eat, and then from there we just been cool. Like, he's really more of like an older brother for me, because I feel like most managers, or when I think of it, is just like some strict business stuff. They're not really personal with you. I've ended up staying with him, because he's from St. Louis, so we'll just be like, all right, let's go to LA for a couple months. Let's chill out there. Let's do that. That's what we'll do. Right now we're in Atlanta for a while, so we move around together. We stay together. We do a bunch of stuff together, and it's just like, it's more like a family bond, and if anything.
So he was working with the agency at the time you meet him, or he was working for them?
For the agency, yeah.
He still works for that agency today?
Actually, no. They were doing a bunch of sneaky stuff. I'm not gonna really say who the agency is, just because of whatever reasons. But they were doing a bunch of behind the scenes stuff, and he wasn't with it. I wasn't with it. So, we kind of did our own thing, got out of there, and now we're doing other bigger and better things.
So I wonder if that's a conflict of interest, or I wonder if he was working for the agency and then manages you on the side?
He works with clients specifically. So it was more like, maybe it started out like that, working for the agency, and then I was just like some other model, But, we got cool, we just clicked. And from there, it's more like, I'll be your personal manager instead of just like a manager or agent, So definitely someone I can call a mentor, and a manager, and a friend,
And when the behind the scenes funny stuff was happening, he brings it to your attention that this was happening, or you already saw this stuff?
That was actually when we were both in LA traveling. So we kind of like noticed some fishy things towards the start of my career, in modeling, in that aspect of the contract. And after a couple months, we were just like, yeah, we kind of had enough of the certain things that they were doing. So from there, we just kind of agreed, like, this isn't right for my manager, this isn't right for me, this isn't right for the other clients he's brought to that agency. And, we all made our own decision to either stay or leave, and that's what happened. And
did the contract expire on its own, or you're able to terminate it?
Yeah, I'll just say it got terminated. I'll say that, yeah.
And when it came to modeling, I know some models, they get placed into certain categories. Were you placed in a certain category of a model? Because I know you said I know during our interview, there was a reference and you said, they signed me for my face. So does that make you a facial model of some sort, or?
Well, my biggest client that I worked with the most while I was modeling was Nike. So maybe more of a athletic model, sports model. Would probably have to say that, but definitely did other jobs, like accessories and whatnot. Editorials, magazines, those kind of things as well. So Definitely was diverse, but if anyone saw me or looked into it, they would definitely see that I was more like a fitness model. So, yeah.
Okay. And because of the funny stuff that happened, are you reluctant to ever sign with another agency in the future?
Definitely not. Nah. Definitely not. I'm looking into agencies right now. Had a couple contracts sent to me already. We're looking them over, just making sure everything's cleared, and just trying to choose my best path, you know. So yeah, definitely in those aspects, like definitely not reluctant on signing another contract.
I know you mentioned music here earlier in this interview. Did you state what type of genre of music you are getting into?
Definitely, I'm gonna consider rap. People like A Boogie, Lil Uzi, NBA YoungBoy, all those type of people, artists I want to be like, I aspire to, I listen to every day. So yeah, definitely into the rap world. We're gonna see where it takes me. I don't know how long that may take. I don't know exactly how great it's gonna be, but I can promise you that there's gonna be stuff coming, and that I will get Corey Campbell a name in the music industry world.
All those rappers you just named, they obviously do rap, but they also have like a singing, harmonizing
Yeah.
Image to them.
Right.
All three that you named.
Yeah.
They're not just hardcore rappers.
Right. Yeah, people, I think today, at least in the music world, a lot of people are using melodies. They're really melodic. Yeah, like everyone. So I guess that's technically, to me, it's a part of their music, you know. So maybe not designate them as rappers. Maybe say they're artists, they're musicians, you know, like something like that.
Recording artists.
Yeah. So they definitely have their own individualities that they're doing. So, yeah.
And you also mentioned YouTube here. What is the status of that, and what is the direction you're going towards with the YouTube channel?
With YouTube,
because I know people do different things. Like my YouTube channel is just strictly interviews, and other people it might be pranks, it might be more vlogging, it might be, you know, I don't know.
Right now, I'm wanting to get into vlogging. I have a lot of videos that are edited and done. I just haven't really uploaded them. I'm trying to get the best quality that I can get, you know. So definitely like vlogging, showing people that I'm more than just a face that they can see. Showing them my life, showing them that not everything just look, because Instagram is really like, it's all played out, you know, it's brainwashing. You could look at someone and see that they're posted by a Ferrari, you think that they have a Ferrari, you know. So it's just like, I feel like vlogging is gonna open a lot of people's eyes from my life and show them that I have to go through struggles just like they do, you know. So yeah, it's just basically like showing them that they can be a part of my journey, and that their journey is gonna be their own journey as well. That they're gonna have to go through their own struggles, and that they have people that they can relate to just as much as like I do when I watch other people.
Were you pushed into the YouTube channel situation, or this is something you wanted to do on your own?
Wasn't necessarily pushed. Was told that it would be a great avenue for me to go to, and then once I thought about it, what I'm wanting to do with it, that was definitely my idea, and those are my thoughts on it. It was just, how can I use the YouTube to do the best that I can with it and show people who I am.
Do you feel like you're late to the YouTube wave?
I wouldn't say late. Maybe I should have started earlier in my like own career, but definitely not late. I know people that just started YouTube yesterday, started 2 days ago, 3 days ago, a month ago. So definitely not late on any of that, just maybe late to my own self. So yeah, definitely like that.
And care to share what your YouTube address is, what the channel name is that people can search if they want to subscribe?
So if you want to subscribe, it's going to be I'm Corey Campbell. It's IMCOREYCAMPBELL. That's usually like my handle on everything. If you want me on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, those are all my handles. So, you know, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, follow me, do what you got to do.
When it comes to the music portion of your career, that path there, are you going to stick with your real name as your stage name, or is there a different alias of some sort that you're going to be using?
You know, a lot of people I know that are in the industry that know me, they like nickname me Lil Cam, just to, I guess, to like play around with. But I'm probably gonna stick with my name just because I've built a brand around my name. A lot of people know me for my name, Corey Campbell. So I'm probably just gonna stick with my name. Yeah.